To the Dataholics YouTube channel, and today we are going to solve one of the SQL interview questions on Data Lemur platform, because I highly believe that when we learn something, we have to practice a lot, right? And while my journey of practicing SQL, I took this question and I solved it, and I was very happy that I was able to solve it in the first go. So I'm sharing my approach, sharing my query and the solution with you. And if you have any other solution also, you can just let us know in the comment section. But try to understand the question first and then solve it, right? So this question will be really helpful for us to practice for data analyst, business analyst, product management, or such kind of interview which are based on SQL especially, correct? So I'll show you both the solutions for PostgreSQL and SQL Server. Whichever database you are using, you can just copy that solution and run it, right? So let us understand the question first. It is like the title is year-on-year growth rate, Wayfair SQL interview question, right? It's a hard level SQL question. And the question says, assume that you are given a table containing information about Wayfair user transaction for different products. So we will have different transactions for all the products in their organization. We have to write a SQL query to calculate the year-on-year growth rate for the total spend of each product, grouping the result by product ID. So we have to give the year-on-year growth rate according to each product in that organization. And if I click on it here, right, so we will have I think a definition of year-on-year growth rate according to them, right? So you can just read it all. Then the output should include the year in ascending order, product ID, current year spent, previous year spent, and the year-on-year growth percentage, right, which should be rounded to two decimal places. The input table, the name will be a user transaction, and the columns are like transaction ID, product ID, spend, and the transaction date whenever that transaction was done, right? So example input will be like this, and the example output will be like this, right? So they have given the explanation. You can just read it all. And I have solved this question here, right? This solution is in, I think, PostgreSQL. Yeah, right. So when I submit this solution, it will be, I think, yeah, it is accepted, right? So now let us solve the same question in SQL Server and understand the logic. So I have actually, created such a SQL table in my system with the name of user transaction. Then I have inserted 20 records. These are dummy records, right? And I have inserted for the practice purpose. So when I see the table, we have again exactly same schema like transaction ID, product ID, spend, and the transaction date. So transaction ID is a unique ID of the transaction. Product ID, in that transaction, which product was sold or taken. Spend, the amount which was spent on that transaction, and the transaction date when that transaction was happened, right? So we have to break this question into three topics. So ultimately what we have to find is the year-on-year growth for each product, growth rate in percentage actually, right? So the first thing which I'm doing here is I am getting the product ID and the transaction year. We have transaction date. I'm getting the transaction year and the total amount spent on that product in that year. So for example, there is a product A which is sold in 2021, 2022, and 2023. So we are getting the total amount of sales for that product in each year, correct? So what I'm doing is select product ID, comma, year of transaction date as year, comma, sum of spend as spend amount on that product in that year, correct? From the table user transaction, and I'm grouping the data by product ID and the year of transaction. So if we run this query, so we will have product ID, the year, and the spend amount, correct? Now the second step will be, we have to get the current year sale and the previous year sale, correct? To get the previous year sale, we have to use a very good window function that is called lag. There might be multiple approaches, but currently I'm using. So again, I put that data into a CT, right? The CTE1, let's say the name is CT. Then I'm again creating another CTE1, right? And in that I'm putting the data, select year, right? From this table, year, comma, product ID, comma, spend amount as the current year spend. But I'm taking lag of spend amount. Lag basically gives the previous record in that partition. It's basically a window function, right? If you don't know about window function, you can check another video called window function on my channel. You will be able to understand them, right? So lag of spend amount, it will give us the previous year sale of that product over partition by product ID. So that means for each product, it will create a partition. Let's say for product A, the year is 2021, 2022, and 2023, and we have the spend amount, right? So let's say for 2021, there was no sale in 2020. So lag will give null because there was no previous year sale, corresponding to 2022 sale, it will give us the 2021 amount for the lag and so on, right? So if I show you this much part, if I just run this much. So see, we have year, product ID, current year spent, and the previous year spent. So for example, product 101 was sold in 2022 for 125 rupees, but or whatever amount, right? Actually, whatever currency. But the previous year sale is null. That means this product 101 was not sold in 2021. Correct? So if we see this product 102, it was sold in 2022 for 100 rupees and 2023 for 150 rupees. So see, in the previous year spent, it is saying 100 rupees or whatever currency, right? So this is what we are getting till here. I think, I hope everything is clear till here, right? So we have used lag window function to get the previous year sale. Then what I'm doing is I am subtracting the current year spent minus previous year spent divided by previous year spent to get the growth percentage and multiplying it by 100. So this is a very simple formula, like mathematical formula. Current year spent minus previous year spent, and I'm dividing it by previous year spent, multiplying it by 100 to get the percentage value, and rounded it off to 2 decimal places, right? So if to get the year-on-year growth rate, and yeah, again, according to each year product, current year sale, previous year sale, and the year-on-year growth. Correct? So this will be the desired output, which we saw in data Lemur platform also. Correct? Now we can do one more thing, and that is up to you. We can use a percentage sign here also, right? So we can use a concatenate function here to get the percentage sign here. That will look much better. Correct? And instead of null, right? So this is just an assignment for you if you really want to improve yourself. So instead of null, we can use coalesce or is null function to replace it with 0 or something meaningful, so that when a business user sees the see this, actually they can understand, okay, that there was no previous year sale. Correct? So that would really enhance your skill as well. Correct? So this was the solution for SQL Server. I hope you are able to understand the logic and the solution. Similarly, we can also solve this question for in PostgreSQL, right? You can copy this solution. You will get it in the description of the video and practice it. If you have any other approach to this problem, I would be more than happy to receive that, right? And okay, so that was all for this question, for this video, and I hope you liked it. So if you really get some value, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We are trying to post regular videos on SQL projects, case studies, interview questions, and gradually we will move on to Python and other data analytics tools, right? So share this video with your friends who needs and who are preparing for interview. So that's all. Right. Thank you so much.